Welcome back, everyone. And again, for a few people that were inquiring regarding the performance and the algo optimizer and what it's doing year to date, especially after last week's incredible moves. First and foremost, let's take a look at the mini Dow, and we'll take a look at that real quick. First and foremost, you could see today, let's just look at its performance so far. We'll bring this into scale on 212. Slight gain, even though we have a very, I guess compared to last week, a pretty mild move. We're only up 467 points. It's kind of ironic that we really haven't seen the real big gain that or at least a retest of last week's highs for that matter, or even Tuesday's highs. We'll get to that in just a second. But how is the overall strategy? Well, we're at a new equity high for the year. This is the 5-minute mini Dow contract. This is the one I've been sharing with you in these video reports. And right now, it just recently just got out of a little long position here, and as you can see, is now short a couple contracts. Now, how long will it stay short for? That depends on whether or not A, the market moves down, or B, if it generates a new fresh reversal signal, which it can do. This morning, while we were in the middle of doing our morning briefing with, as we were in that briefing with the trade station, it had generated a short and covered that. Then it went long and liquidated that. And so it's had a couple trades in between, a nice long here, liquidated right when it should have, and then it did have a long, didn't work out so well. As you can see, it got out right there, long exit right there, so no harm, no foul. Went long and just reversed. So again, some decent trades, had a couple trades in the overnight session that didn't work out, but the net performance is pretty good so far year to date, and that's what we wanted to follow up with you. Let's look at some other markets here real quick. The media is very, and as we are as well, looking for, again, focus on bonds and interest rates and seeing if that's the catalyst that's taking this equity market down to lower levels. But as you can see, the bond market has, it's up a little bit today. It has a long way to go before it recovers. But the algo optimizer for the year, because bonds, this is a system that only takes trades certain times of the day. And as you're probably aware as a professional trader, a lot of times we come in and the market just through the either European session or Asian session has big moves. But all in all, on Thursday, here's a short position that was liquidated. I mean, bottom line, here's a long rallied all the way out right before the profit target. It is currently short, and it just as we're doing this video, just liquidated the short position. You'll notice here it's out of its position, so that's kind of a neat thing. And you can see it says max bars because it had been holding period for the bonds, and this is a 15-minute chart, was in there quite some time. So if we go back and we look at some of the trades, where did it miss setups? As I was saying, sometimes 2 in the morning, 4 in the morning, we come in to the day, we have these huge downside action moves that the market just doesn't take. Here's another scenario here where we have these big moves in the market, and look what time it is. 1, 2 in the morning. So we're not programmed to take trades at 1 or 2 in the morning. So the performance on this is not as great because there really hasn't been a lot of intraday volatility in the bonds, even though the bond market has gone down. I'll share that with you right now. All right, here's a bond daily chart. And as you can see, since we were right around here in the middle of January, right in the middle of January, that's when we kind of were tinkering against this little sideways low. And quite frankly, the bonds from 2018, a lot of it didn't do much, down, didn't do much, down. Then as you can see, these 2 days right there, volatility, then it rallied, and then it broke back down. I mean, quite frankly, if you look at the overall change from about 149 down to 144, let's call it, in that range, from that's a $5,000 move. I mean, it's, and half of the move is done on the overnight session. So a $5,000 move, if you were selling the breakdown on a one lot in the market and holding that position overnight, your big move with the big profit, what this represents is about $5,000. That's it. Compare that to the algo system once again. Let's look. So this trades two lots in the market. How do we know? Let's share with you the parameter settings to that degree. And we're going to get that if we click on this button right here. All right. So as you can see in the position sizing right here, position sizing, it's set at calculation method number 3. So it's not defining it as the equity or the risk per trade, but position size. It's just doing two contracts. And like I said, it only takes trades in between certain hours. And for this model, it's only trading between 5:30 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon. So it's in any trade that happens before 5:30 and any trade that happens after 3 o'clock is not going to enter into a trade. So that's the overall scheme of things. The performance summary, if we look at this real quick, again, we have a combined long and shorts. As you can see, it's done a lot better with the shorts since the beginning of the year. How do we know the beginning of the year? It says so 1/1/18 through current 2/12. So this is the performance trading a two lot, and as you can see, it's only up 12,875. Not a big difference than just holding, and this is two contracts, so that would be just slightly outperforming the market in a sell and hold type of condition versus trading the market certain time frames during the day. So there hasn't been a lot of, what this shares with us is there hasn't been a lot of intraday volatility in the market, but clearly the system is doing a pretty good job. Gets in, gets out, gets in, and then as you can see, gets out. It does what it's designed to do, and we're seeing a nice equity performance there. Percent profitable, almost 60%. And again, it's divided between both longs and shorts. So it's not a long only, it's not a short only, it's taking trades. And that's the balance of using this, the person's algo optimizer. Choose your time, choose your contract size, and then be able to maintain the structure of the program. Now this I wanted to share with you because this was really our flagship product here. This again is the Volatility ETN exchange traded note, the VXX, and this is the one that has just had a enormous success over time. And you hear a lot of people talking approximately, how volatility traders have been crushed, etc., etc. Well, this is the equity curve, and we just made another new equity high, or a new high in the equity curve, so to speak. The performance summary, percent profitable, it's a little bit different here because of the fact that it takes a lot of trades over the last 8 years. Since inception, that's 2010 through 2018. So another thing that we need to account for is the fact that, like most trading systems, it takes along, it gets out because it's defined to take trades against under its normal period of volatility. And then when you get something like this, if the risk is too great, it won't enter a trade. If it gets outside its norm, which it did, it will stand to the sidelines. But if we get a signal and it gets in, it gets short, it gets out, it got long, it gets in, it got long, it had a loss, it got immediately out, and currently it is short in a short mode. And as you can see, the open trade equity is positive. So this is a neat little function. This is what we gave out the settings top to bottom from beginning to end, and then traders, and because this is the base model, we did not alter or maintain or increase the profit structure or the max holding period or a few other dynamic features that the algo optimizer has within it. As it currently is right now, the VXX in its current position up 4,400. The short position in that mini Dow currently right now, as you can see, it's kind of going back and forth, and we'll see what happens with that. But really proud of this system, and this is the dynamics that I think a lot of people miss. Imagine what this could do for you in your trading, especially when you might have the same ideas, but you can't get to your mouse and execute fast enough. And this is where that program is not only going to help you keep you disciplined, help you understand that the nature of being patient and waiting for setups and then acting when they occur. This does it for you. In addition to that, it also does one other major feature. If it's wrong, it gets out, and it has its defined profit targets. So there it is. Thank you for watching again, and we'll keep you updated on the performances. This has just been a dynamic, as you can see, for the year, a dynamic product for an incredible market environment. Thank you, everyone.